Capricorn, hello. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I've got the heater on. It is facing in a different direction, so hopefully it's not too loud. I've got my warm spiced tea. Very excited about that. This is going to be your new love reading for January 2025. This is for singles, those who are newly opening up, dating, looking into the possibility of accepting new love, or those who have just started dealing with somebody, right? This is new. If you're in a long-term connection and you're looking to tarot for answers, there's your answer. The answer's in the question, okay? Follow your intuition, right? The fact that you're asking means, there's probably an issue. There's work to be done. All right, I'll leave it at that, Capricorn. Cardinal Earth. Cardinal is fire. Now, I was getting somebody focused, a masculine focusing on their work. Could be somebody that you met through work. Could be a past connection, so we'll see if they come out again. But they were in the King of Swords energy, so it was somebody who was not emotionally available, right? Not emotionally expressive, somebody who was very cold, distant, direct, right? And that works in work, but in love, not so much. But here we have the Six of Cups, we have the Two of Cups, and then we have the Eight of Swords. So you could be ruminating on the past, right? You could be letting go of the past, needing some sort of confirmation, a sign, synchronicity, something, a nod from the universe that says that was not for you. All right? So maybe that's why I was settling in on that. If you have to ask about it, it's not for you, right? If it's not a hell yes, then the answer is no, right? Whenever you're decluttering things from your wardrobe, think of connections like your wardrobe or something that you don't have an emotional attachment to. So that doesn't work if you have an emotional attachment to your clothing, like some people. The idea of yourself. But if you think of an area in your house, like if you're decluttering a junk drawer or something that you don't have an emotional attachment to, right? This is not to say that connections are junk, but a lot of them tend to be, especially when you're in a divine, and not that they're bad, they're just not good for you, and not that they're wrong, they're just not right for you, right? So when you look through things and you're like, oh, I just don't use this, or oh, I tried to use this, but it just didn't really work for me, maybe it'll work for somebody else, and you send it out with love and light and thank it for what role it played, what lesson it taught you. Now you know never to buy that thing again. Now you know never to try to make a thing work that doesn't work, all right? Or, right? So if you can get yourself to a more logical place, because this is somebody who's kind of illogical. This is someone who's swept up in their thoughts. They're not thinking clearly. It's bringing them anxiety. It's affecting their sleep. All right, it's leaving you feeling out in the cold, right? In your cup. So it's like a Five of Cups energy, right? It's ruminating on the past, crying over spilt milk, being in that victim mentality of like, why did this happen to me? No, it happened for me. Now what can I take from it? What can I use from it? What can I learn from it, gain from it, and move forward? And if you're like, there's nothing to gain here, there's nothing to learn there, then there's your answer. Get out. All right, so we're not talking about things that cause confusion or things that cause a lack of clarity, right? Something with the number 8, you could be dealing with somebody in the month of August. You could have dealt with someone in the month of August, broken up in the month of August, left a job in the month of August, right? If you were dealing with somebody that was a coworker or a boss, right? If you had a romantic connection at work and it caused a lot of conflict, right? And if you were in something, it may have distracted you from your work, right? You guys are the workaholics of the zodiac. You guys work hard and then you play harder, right? So if it's distracting you in your fundamental earth element of like foundation and tangible goods, services, success, right? The tangible things that you can see. If you can't see it, like this is someone who can't see. This is someone who is not tapped into their intuition. They're not grounded, right? If they try to jump to the ground to escape this tower, this entrapment that they're in, all right, it reminds me of entanglement we were dealing with a Virgo, but it's because Jada Pinkett talked to Will Smith, who is a Libra. She's a Virgo. She was talking about the affair she had. She referred to it as an entanglement. So I don't know, just getting that for some reason. Maybe your name is Will, Jada, something Smith. All right. Very, very specifically, but maybe something with like the government. All right. Conspiracy theorists, conspiracy theories. But maybe you dealt with somebody in the government. Maybe you were a government employee, right? Because I get the conspiracy theories and the sort of like Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, like Secret Service. Like maybe your connection was in secret. You couldn't express it, right? And you want to be able to, right? Capricorns like to talk about their accomplishments in work and in life and in love and in everything that they do, right? So you should be able to talk about this love. And so if you were in something where you couldn't talk about it, it was only at night, right? It was only like a friends with benefits booty call thing. Maybe it was an entanglement. Maybe somebody was married. Maybe someone was the other person, third party situation. We don't like all that, okay? That's not divine, and you know it. So just let it go. You want something divine. We have the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. Now, if that's something you dealt with in the past, you had to get over, that's the crowd we're talking to. If you're still tied up in that, you might as well just like leave now, go into hermit mode, and do the shadow work. Heal yourself. Because this is what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. All right? There's no entanglement here. This isn't the devil, right? Because this kind of looks like the Lovers, and the Lovers in the Rider-Waite mirrors the devil. You, as a major arcana, are the devil. The devil has the chain around the neck. It's like attachments. You deal with attachments. You are the ruler, and you're ruled by Saturn, and you are the ruler of the root chakra, which is all about releasing. Maybe you are purging things from your house, decluttering, getting ready, like pre-spring cleaning. You're getting ready for this next phase. You could be doing that literally in your space. You could be doing that in your energy. You could be doing a digital declutter, connections, friendships, familial, lovers, whatever. Clearing out the black book, right? You could be clearing out attachments like substances, right? But these people aren't attached, right? Like it's not a chain. It's just like a silky little sash or whatever from his, and see, there's something about the uniform here. So maybe something with the military, again, the government. There's something there, possibly, for some of you. But there's like this sort of, this is a choice, right? She could take that off anytime she wants. There's nothing, it's like she's asking him, do you want to create with me, right? The sacral chakra could be done with a Scorpio, but this is like, do you want to create with me? Okay, I mean, there could be an issue of pregnancy. I want to say an issue. Why do I say an issue? Because I still feel like, if you're like, well, I can't really release this entanglement or whatever this past situation was because there's a baby involved, there's a child involved, and then yeah, you're going to have to carry part of that into the next connection with you. So you'll have to figure out a way to just make sure that you're being completely transparent and honest and balanced in your approach, right? This is Two of Cups. This is like, here's my cup. This is everything that fills it up. Maybe there's a kid in there. Maybe there's a divorce in there. There's past trauma in there. There's child. I mean, we all have our cups with our own little blends of tea in it, right? So this is just saying, it's showing someone your ingredients, right? We all have the same ingredients, different recipes. So it's like, you've got trauma, you've got baggage, you've got whatever. Just be forthcoming about it. And this person's going to do the same. They're going to show you their stuff. Maybe you're going to be, if you're the masculine, maybe you're going to be connecting with a single mother, right? Or a single parent that is a feminine. But it's a choice there. It's no entanglement. There's no entrapment. There's no locked in a tower with no escape, right? They're like up in a tower too. Let's see, like they can leave anytime they want. And see, their cups are running over. This is like bearing your soul to somebody. I feel like this is going to be a very deep, transparent and healing connection. I mean, with the Six of Cups, that is healing. That's soulmate energy. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is very fulfilling to you in your element because it's earth. It's the Ace of Pentacles. It's like something that you wanted, you called in, you manifested. Jack, in the bed, please. Thank you, baby. He's going to be pacing around and tippy-tapping. Eight of Cups is... Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. Leave it behind. Move on. It doesn't matter. It's going to be hard. It was hard, or it is going to be hard. Wherever you are in this timeline, leaving this behind will be difficult, but it's not going to be anywhere as difficult, right? It's just one foot in front of the other and moving towards things that bring you emotional fulfillment. This is much harder. So the initial break free, cycle breaking, because 8 is the number of cycles, the initial breakage is uncomfortable. It's challenging, but it's like resetting a bone that's not set properly, that didn't heal properly. It will always have that click. Maybe the tippy tappy is like the click, right? Because my jaw, it's like there's something about the click. I mean, you could have like crepitus, you could have like crackling in your bones, arthritis, something like that, right? Because this person's got their staff here. And like all the swords here, something with inflammation. You could have some sort of disease or disorder that requires you to get lab tests or take injections or something like that, right? This person is lethargic. Maybe you're taking like cortisol injections, right? Maybe you've got like a bum knee, right? You could be older and be like, I'm too old to play games. This is head games. And a big fear might be, well, if I leave this, like because of my age, am I too old to find something new? No, absolutely not. You're never too old, right? Because there's other old people out there. Like, there's a lot of them, right? And it will be easier because we all inevitably gather baggage, right? We all inevitably break down, tire out. Like as we age, there are things that change about our bodies. It doesn't have to be limiting. It's just a change. Maybe you're going through like a midlife crisis or something. Don't mean to laugh, but it's just kind of like, you know, because that can be very overwhelming, right? Especially for a Capricorn, the workaholics of the zodiac, right? Maybe if you're like leaving a job or retiring or something, that could be like, that was my only purpose, was work, right? Maybe you did something in communications. Also with the ear thing, I was getting like planes. So with the government, maybe you were a pilot, maybe you were like, did something in the military with flight mechanic, air traffic controller, something like that, where it was like, it gave you a lot of purpose. And it gave you a reason to get up every morning, and it gave you a reason to feel proud of yourself, but it really was not fulfilling, because what you really want, and it doesn't even mean, again, it doesn't mean that that job was bad or toxic. It just means like you're in a transition, you're leaving that behind, because what you really want and what you've always longed for, and maybe what you didn't have time for because you worked so hard and so often and so much and such long hours, and you poured everything into that, you didn't have time to pour into yourself in order to call in a reciprocal cup that is also full, right? But like the older you get, you know, we all inevitably, we gather that baggage, and so you're going to be, it's more simple. I think that, people are like, oh, dating in your 30s, dating in your... I think that it just gets more simple, because when you're younger, you don't have as much baggage, and so you're open to a wider audience, right? And your standards are lower, and you're exploring things, and so you're always, dating around and kind of just, you don't know what you want. You're finding what you don't want, right? But as you get older, there's a wisdom and a self-assurance of, I've got the work success. Maybe you've already had the family, right? Maybe you already have kids. Maybe you've already been married and divorced. And you're just looking for someone to be companions with, to play with, right? Because the Six of Cups, they're playing together. They're like in a theater playing together. Someone to just go to shows with, watch movies with. Just somebody to relax with. And I think that as you get older, it just gets more simple, because the stuff that you thought was deal breakers before, height, money, whatever, it doesn't really, none of that shit really matters, because you've done it all for yourself. And so you can just be with somebody for your cups. You can just be with somebody that makes you feel, right? And it doesn't have to be about what's on paper or what society thinks or what's gonna, there's no like time clock, because you've already done everything. So I could be talking to some older Capricorns, right? And maybe you're having a little bit of struggle with that, because you guys want to remain active, but you can still be with somebody, and maybe you can't get around as much. Maybe you get a little hitch and you're giddy up, but there are accommodations for that. And I think that I believe that when you are with somebody who fills you up emotionally, because you have done that work on your own emotions of focusing on the self, whether that be in work, your physical fitness, your mental health, like, because you've been single and doing it for yourself for so long, it's like you've been putting all that work into yourself. And so somebody doesn't have to fill you up. It's not like you're a void that needs to be poured into. It's going to be reciprocal. And, and maybe you're just an old soul and you've felt this way, and you could be in your 20s, right? But I feel like I'm speaking to someone who is older, right? Ace of Pentacles. You're just looking for something that's solid, something that's nurturing. You can talk about movies together. You can talk about the arts, right? You can ride your golf carts around where, like the Villages, Florida, I'm not too far from there. But it's like there's just like there's such a relief and a release of all the burdens of like bearing your soul, right? You can just, there's so much life behind you. I think there's more life behind you than ahead of you possibly, or that may be how you feel. But that just means like you've done the work. You've done the work, and now you can just relax. I know that might be like triggering a lot of you workhorses out there that are used to just going. But really, what were you working for? Was it not to play hard, right? Were you not working hard to play hard? And so like, it's like, what were you working for? Ask yourself that. Because it feels like you were working for the opportunity to just be with somebody, settle down, relax, ride around on a golf cart, or I get like a four-wheeler. Like maybe you want to just like be out in the country and just chill and not have to be, maybe you worked in the city, right? Or if you worked for the government, right? It's like you worked long hours. The postal service, right? You could be someone who just worked overnights, holidays, like you did all this work, and now it's like you're confronted with the opportunity to maybe not work so much for other people, right? And just put that work into yourself, right? That's Six of Cups is the number of self-love, right? It's agape love. It's balanced love, which is why the devil, you guys, it sucks that you guys mostly get the devil, but you guys also get grouped in with the Emperor, right? At least I group you in there because I try to give you something, It's like not everybody groups you in with the Emperor, but I feel like, yeah, you're grouped in with the Emperor because The devil was an angel first, right? And so it's like, oh, where was I going with that? Yeah, it's like you worked for others, and now you get to work for yourself. That agape love, that balanced love, and it's mirrored back to you. Oh, the devil, he mocks the divine. The devil mocks the divine with the 666, but it's actually 999, right? So either way, it's like the number of independence, the number of self is 9, and then the number 6 is love. So it's like self-love. Either way you look at it, 6-9, 6-9. You got some freaks out there in the collective right now with that 6-9. But 6-9 is also Cancer. You could be dealing with a Cancer. That is your polarity sign, right? And it's kind of like either way you look at it, it's the same. It has the same meaning. Give the love to yourself first. And the devil often does that. The demonic, the shadows, they often mock the light. They mock everything. But it's like, that's why the truth is in the shadows. So maybe you are doing a lot of shadow work, or you have done a lot of shadow work, or you're interested in shadow work, right? It's the number, that's the self-work. It's going in and asking the shadows and looking at the shadows, acknowledging them, and honoring them as being like your clues, right? The answers in the question. If you're going in and asking the questions, it's like the answers are there. So there's something about the mirroring, the polarity. I mean, maybe you deal with bipolar disorder or something. But we have the World here. So with this 2 of Cups and the World, it's there could be distance, but I feel like it's the world. Like this is really what you worked for. This is like, I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune almost. There's the Emperor. Yeah, it's like you either are the Emperor or you're attracting the Emperor, right? This person is going to become your world and your purpose. Like if you're worried about what's my purpose now, what do I do now? Maybe you guys are just going to be making love. 6-9. And that's like giving and receiving, right? It can also be like yin yang. It can be like the fish, Pisces, right? It is the symbol of Cancer. So it's cups, it's water, it's intuition. It's something that with this Ace of Pentacles coming out of the clouds, it's something that you dreamed up. Who did I just talk about Aladdin with? Was that Scorpio? Yeah, be yourself. Maybe you're dealing with Scorpio, because I did get the Scorpio there with the death and rebirth of the 2 of Cups. Queen of Swords. Now you could be dealing with this. You could be in this energy. Something in that season could be meaningful to you. You might see those symbols around. If you're watching movies, shows, the actors might all end up being Scorpios. Or artists that you listen to, you might see like symbolism, right? If you're dealing with a Leo, you might see lions everywhere. It doesn't necessarily mean that your person is a Leo or a Scorpio. You might have those placements, right? It's something about that major arcana, something about that zodiac sign that is speaking to you. And it could be the universe, just like when you see those patterns. Anytime you see patterns, the universe is speaking to you. The universe is always speaking to you, but when you see the patterns, it means you're listening. So it means you're on the right track. So they could just be nods from the universe. So we have the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, this was challenging to leave this past behind. And it could be cutting out family, right? Somebody you thought was family. So it could be in love, could be work, right? Maybe it was a marriage. But it's like, and then if there are children involved, it's like you shared blood. There's something about like you shared blood. But, the Queen of Swords is discerning. So this one looks very scared. She's crying. She's got her veil on. It's like she doesn't really want to look at it. It's like watching a scary movie or something, with through your fingers. This person's very guarded. There's still something that's guarded, and she's got that sword across her heart. Now this gives me the Two of Swords, which means there's a decision coming that you don't see. And with the Two of Cups, there's a choice. You could have a choice in love. Yeah, we got death, more Scorpio energy, and the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, yeah, you could be getting a lot of offers. Romantic offers, offers in work. Six of Wands is self-recognition. It is Leo energy. But this 6 is the number of self-love, self-worth. And if your worth was tied up in Wands, which could be work, could be online connections, you could have been online dating, right? This could be like all your little with the bee yourself, this could be like all your little bumblebees. Maybe you're on Bumble or Tinder or something, right? And this is you kind of warding it off to honor your self-love. Like whatever you got your value in, whatever you got your self-worth in, you recognize yourself for, your accomplishments, your accolades, right? Whatever you saw as being like your value is not actually your value. Your value is in this Ace of Pentacles, which is clarifying the Six of Cups. This is your value. This love is everything that you worked for. And it starts with the self, right? So you worked for others so that and maybe you're leaving a job so that you can be an entrepreneur, right? That's the Emperor here. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Cool. I like it. The Queen of Cups is someone who is very nurturing. It's also Cancerian energy. So we just had the full moon 2 days ago. So there could be something around this full moon, which was under your sign, but also in the sign of in the sign of Cancer, right? It was a Cancer moon. It was the wolf moon. So maybe wolves are important, or you could be dealing with a Pisces. The wolf is the Native American zodiac for Pisces, which is the intuition, right? The Queen of Cups is someone who is, they base things on their feelings, on their gut, right? They nurture their vessel. The Queen of Swords protects the Queen of Cups and the Empress, right? So I feel like the masculine is very secure here in the 3D, in their masculine energy. The feminine is the one that had to kind of come around. And release something that was disruptive, chaotic. I mean, the masculine could do that as well. But I feel like it's maybe more in the past for the masculine, because the masculine is showing up here as the Emperor. And I think maybe, I mean, there's all that mirroring. There's a Two of Cups, Six of Cups. There's a lot of mirroring here. This is your soulmate. So that means that we have the Seven of Wands again, right? So there's Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands. So it's like somebody's running out of something, somebody's afraid, somebody's running to safety. This reminds me of the Village, you know? Even though her eyes are open, it's like she's blind. With the High Priestess, or with Pisces, which is the High Priestess, it's the third eye chakra. It's seeing what is meant for you, what's divine for you. It's seeing the path before you. And in the Village, when she's running through the woods, I mean, she's blind, so she's literally blind. So she's like feeling around, right? This is all about feeling. And so I think maybe it took maybe the feminine to, like, they're coming into it because they're over here by the Emperor with this Queen of Cups. But there was, I think, a period of fear, the veil over their eye, not seeing it, not wanting to look, not wanting to see the truth. But then the Eight of Cups tells me, like, the truth is inevitable. That Two of Swords is something you don't see coming. It's like a tower. It's a choice that you don't see coming, but it's coming. Like, you're gonna have to make it, because when we incarnated, we, maybe you're Italian, because the way I just pronounced that was a little like the syllables were a little like sing-songy, or Greek, or Romania, like there's something like yeah, maybe you have an accent. But that's all like love, and like that gives me this like this Greek goddess thing. There's like this love here, which is Venus, Venusian. Isn't that Venetian or Venusian? One of them is a Venus. And then the Venetian, I think, is it a hotel or something in Las Vegas? So maybe something with Las Vegas. Maybe something with like the desert. The desert is plains. The city, like wanting to move away from the city, or like the buzz of everything. Something with bees. Because yeah, we got like the stings here, and I was getting the needles, but it could be like the stings, right? Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio who stung you repeatedly because they weren't being themselves, because that was in the Scorpio reading. So if there's something with Scorpio, maybe there's something in that reading for you, but but this is somebody was fumbling around. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to make the decision. But when we incarnated, we made the choice already. The choices for our destiny have already been made. So this is what you asked for. You chose this. Yeah, there was a lot of healing that took place with the feminine over here, I feel like both of you, you're mirroring, you've both been through it. I think one of you is just feeling more like the Emperor, because the Emperor is here. And we've got the two queens. The Emperor is all the kings. The Empress is all the queens. And we've got these two queens here. So the Queen of Swords protects this Queen of Cups over here. And so there's a need for healing, right? So that the Queen of Swords can hold their ground. And I think it was very difficult. Maybe you were dealing with a narcissist, and so like going no contact was difficult. Or if there were children involved and you had to co-parent with someone who's toxic, like, bless you, that's not easy. So the star here is somebody who's has the time. See, they have the time to just nurture themselves. If it's not a child, it's some sort of creation. Maybe they started a business together. All right? Because the belly, the sacral chakra, scorpionic energy is the sacral chakra. That's all about creative energy. Our sexual energy is the greatest source of our creative energy, right? Biologically speaking and energetically speaking, that's where it comes from. That's the source and we have to release first through the root chakra, through Capricorn, through Saturn. We have to go through that Saturn return in order to come to a place where we go, oh, we have to return to ourselves and realize what's not good for us and what's blocking our creation, our creative energy. And I think that it took this feminine a lot of, that really resonates with somebody, because I know there's a Six of Cups again. Yeah. You start with the Six of Cups, you end with the Six of Cups. Your soulmate's coming in. It's just, you're doing this healing work. Also, the star is like a wish upon a star. You wished for this. You wanted this stability. You wanted something solid. You know, maybe you got swept up in something else because it was very like, it felt very passionate, or it was tied into your work, or it was somehow an attachment that made you feel alive, or like you had purpose. Like if you have a fixer personality, right? If you're an empath and a cycle breaker, which is why you're probably here, then you probably do have that tendency to heal or fix or do the work for others. It's like you were working for others, and now when you work for yourself, you're mirroring and calling in this Emperor. Now, if you're the masculine, you're coming into this Emperor energy, which is inevitably going to call in your Empress, because that's just what it do. It's the frequency. Divine timing is a frequency. It's not something you can measure. Yeah, 10 of Wands, you're releasing. It's just confirming what I said. So it's this, there is a judgment here, this judgment day. It's like, hallelujah, right? a reason to celebrate this sign from the gods. Maybe you were in the medical industry with this red cross here, but it is like the rescue. It's like the, like I always get teary-eyed whenever I'm watching a movie and the choppers come in to like save them. Like they're stranded in the desert, and maybe you felt very stranded in the desert with that Five of Cups energy that I was getting. It's like this like dehydrated, lacking love, feeling very dry, apathetic to your environment, thinking like all hope is lost, it's never gonna happen, and then like they come in and they save your ass. And then it's like, I always get excited about that. So again, with the flight, it's like, and that could literally be your person flying to you or you flying to them, right? So because with the world there's distance, so it's like your salvation, right? Maybe you didn't think that you deserved salvation, but once you release this burden of working for others, of doing the work for others, like it's like you didn't realize your own magic here, because wands are magic, right? It's like you were giving your magic, and if you were in casual connections, you were giving your sexual creative energy to low vibrational people or casual connections. It wasn't, you stopped and you gave it to yourself, and then you watched your belly grow. Maybe you put on some weight, it's okay. It comes off, it's just weight. But it's like you finally were getting nourished, you were filling up, you were filling yourself. And maybe, like in Eat, Pray, Love, she travels and she does go to, she goes to Rome, and then she goes to India and then Bali. So maybe those places are important to you. Maybe you traveled around a little bit. Maybe you traveled for work. Maybe you were like a flight attendant, or again, a pilot. Like maybe you did something where you traveled around for work. Anyway, or you want to travel around and you were trapped, so you weren't traveling around, right? But it's like she's talking to the guru, like her full circle. She's going back to the guru. It's like back to source. She's trying to find God. She's going back to source. God lives in you as you, right? So whatever your perceptions of God are, whatever your beliefs are, you're right, because it's whatever is relative and you believe to be true. So it's returning to your truth. And so it's like she gets this prophecy. Again, this is like a prophecy. This is your destiny. This is something you've already designed for yourself and laid out for yourself. You just have to trust in the process and take one step, right? It's just walking one step in front of the other. This is what you wish for. But she tells the guru, I just spent, or is she talking to, she might be talking to her friend. There's a friend in, which is, everyone's a guru, right? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So that's anywhere you are. A teacher can be a bumblebee, right? A teacher can be anything. It can be a movie, right? You can find, if you're looking for the signs, you will find them anywhere that you are looking, because you're looking for them. And because the signs are just telling you what you already know. So it's like the truth is already within you. This is like very heavy, meaningful work that you're doing this year. And this season, and maybe you just hit your birthday, and so you're like, it's your season, so maybe it's around your birthday's coming up, or you just passed your birthday. So there's a lot of contemplative energy around our birthdays of like, okay, what do we want the next year to look like? You just happen to fall in line with the new year, right? Maybe you're January 1st, but it's like you just happen to fall in line with the new year, your birthday time. But it's like any time that you hit a birthday, right? It's like, what do I want the next year to look like? What do I want the next 5 years to look like? Next decade to look like, right? And so there's a lot of contemplative energy there of like, I don't want to do this anymore. But she says to somebody, I've seen the movie a billion times. I don't know why I'm like not sure, but she says, I just spent 6 months in Rome or whatever, feeding myself. And so it's like you're feeding yourself, but like, and she puts on a little bit of weight or whatever. And like, her friend in India calls her groceries, so it's like, yeah, maybe put on some weight, maybe but you were feeding yourself. Like you were feeding yourself some comfort food. I think that there was some deprivation going on, and so maybe, I mean, there could be an eating disorder, but it's like there was a lacking of nourishment and nutrients in your life on an elemental spiritual level. And now you're giving them to yourself, or you have given them to yourself. And just know that when you're in that energy of agape love, self-love, agape love, it's unconditional. It will just be attracted to you. Period. The end. Yeah, Two of Cups. More confirmation. Okay, I could keep going, but I think it's the same thing. And this is getting into a pretty long reading here, so. But it is your season, so we can do what we want. Yeah. Again, more Pisces energy, Hangman, Page of Cups, and King of Pentacles. Excuse me. So it's like you have a offer of love coming in. Could be the masculine. Excuse me. Could be younger. So, I mean, there could be an age difference either way, but with the Page of Pentacles, I just get that there's kind of like a younger masculine coming in with an offer of love with the cups there. But because the Queen of Cups came out, that page could be also the feminine. So take it or leave it, however you wish. I hope there was something in here for you, Capricorn. If you want to support me, the work I do, this channel, this space, everything you need to know is in the description box below. And yeah, it looks good. Yeah, keep filling yourself up. Keep feeding yourself, right? I feel like there's something else, but maybe I just really like this energy and I want to stay in it. So I'm going to carry it over into the Aquarius reading. And until next time, I wish you well.